the people it kills get up and kill. They kill for one reason. They kill for food.
Dead body must be exterminated, either by destroying the brain or severing the brain from the rest of the body.
One. Oh, we're on. Okay.
Hi, we're on.
Hello.
Apparently nothing is working.
Yeah, nothing's working.
Nothing's working tonight. Oh well. What's the tagline of this movie you're watching?
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk the earth.
That's what it was. So when there's no more room in the basement, the culture will walk the earth. That's what I was trying to remember.
I like it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's one of my favorites. We'll talk about it. In case you weren't picking up, it's Dawn of the Dead anniversary episode.
Woo!
Yay.
We're very
That
excited.
was a very enthusiastic.
We sounded like the zombies in the movie.
I wish I had a
I look just like them. But before we do so much touching. But before we do that, a toast.
Hopefully someone's ringing the doorbell.
I know it does sound like someone's ringing our doorbell. We don't have a doorbell. Is that our ring camera?
It's the doorbell.
Yay. Well,
A toast to Romero, to Dawn of the Dead.
to our friends, to everyone.
Chin chin.
I literally can't even select a button right now. There it
One of those episodes.
Gonna be one of those. Gonna be one of those.
You had to give Scott that rock star
That's right.
with the sugar.
Here, look.
Oh my goodness.
Are you not entertained?
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess put on your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Gonna be a bumpy ride.
No.
It'll be fine.
I want to share
Okay.
All right.
some things as we are wont to do in the first half of this program from the basement. So you know we love Fangoria magazine. You know we love Fangoria. They don't sponsor us, but they should. So this is a great issue, as they all are. First of all, we have a Long Legs preview, and we have a Cuckoo inside, which is some movies that we're like hella excited about.
Yeah.
But so I was reading this issue, and I come across this little article with an interview with director extraordinaire, what's his name? Kay Casas, and this movie, The Coffee Table. And this was at Fantastic Fest. This had people throwing up, crying, leaving, having mental breakdowns, which there's simply no better advertisement for a horror movie than, people being upset. And he says in here, since we were doing something so humble, we said, let's do the most unforgettable, cruel, and politically incorrect thing we can. And that's what we did. And I saw that and I was like, somebody hold my Coke Zero. I've got to put this movie on. And I did. I watched it. And, it's hard, us jaded old horror fans.
Right.
And we know that we're not the type who are going to get, upset like the people seeing the movie. But by God, if I didn't enjoy it. It's a lot of dark, pitch black humor. And a little taboo, little envelope pushing stuff going on. It was filmed, they rehearsed it for 3 days. They filmed it in his friend's apartment with no money. I love movies like that. And it's gone on to have this great success. So The Coffee Table, watch it. Let me know what you think.
What is it on again? Do you remember?
I think I had to rent it on Amazon.
Oh, okay. So I did read that article, and it did not occur to me to go watch it for a reason. So I was assuming I probably had to rent it. It was too cheap, of course. So I didn't do it.
So then there was also an article on Planet of the Apes,
No.
which if you've been watching for a couple episodes, producer Scott and I been gearing up for the new movie by watching all the old ones. I cry at every one of these fucking movies. I'm probably gonna embarrassingly cry and have snot coming out of my nose for this new one coming out. But I had to finish the series before I could read the article. So I felt like I was under the gun because Neil and I share this magazine back and forth. I'm so excited, but it was like so crazy that I'm like, oh my gosh. And then there was one more thing. Bray Wyatt, if you know, you know. This is an interview with his best friend who designed all of his masks for WWE. Bray Wyatt, I don't care what anybody says, my favorite wrestler. It's my favorite wrestler of all time. He passed away last August from complications from having COVID. When you marry pro wrestling with horror, obviously, like, I'm going to be obsessed and you're going to be, like, my favorite wrestler. And Bray Windham was the real deal. And I'm still completely devastated and not over his passing. Scott, as my witness, first time I saw Bray, because I got to see him wrestle a couple times, I sobbed, full body shaking sobs, because I loved him so much and I miss him so much. And I could not believe this issue of Fangoria was filled with all these things custom made for me, including David Dastmalchian and Chucky. There you go.
There you go.
So I had a little show and tell for my
my
share
All right.
today.
By the way, when are we going to meet at the McDonald's drive-in to exchange custody of the magazine?
When I feel like it. I'm just kidding. Tonight at midnight.
Midnight tonight. Okay.
Yeah.
I hope
really
we're
don't
not
have
still
a
here
lot.
at midnight.
Yeah, right. I finished Fallout.
Oh, okay.
Great show. A lot
You're
of fun.
happy.
Really liked it. I talked about it 2 weeks ago. So
It's a hit.
Yeah, I really liked it. And then I started Baby Reindeer over
Oh,
there
yeah.
on the Netflix, and
It's rough, huh?
it's so uncomfortable. Like
Yeah.
it is just so. So like, remember a while ago I was talking about Dream Scenario and it being like one of the most uncomfortable scenes I've ever seen. Well, this is like a movie full of, or a TV show full of like just a whole bunch of uncomfortable things. But
Right.
very, very well done. Recommended.
It's kind of that's another one. It's a big hit.
It's having
Yeah.
a moment.
And I've been I haven't watched the show yet, but I've watched some different videos and stuff talking about the real story, interview with the guy.
See, I'm trying to like
Yeah.
not read any of those things yet because I don't
You wanna
want
know?
it to spoil anything. But I know that there's a real story out there, and he's publicly come forward and said, "Quit trying to figure out who the real people are
Yeah, it's
and
fucked up.
harassing them." And you
Yeah.
know, everyone's been through enough. So
That's fucked,
just
yeah.
watch the show on Netflix.
And I guess the young lady that it's a big piece of it is like suing.
Probably.
People-
I mean,
yeah,
that's
she's
what,
out,
that's
I
what
guess.
you do now. So,
Yeah, she's
that-
suing
that
people
totally
because
makes
of her
sense.
portrayal or something.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I
get
read.
that. I get that.
Do you need eye bleach after that show? Is it an eye bleach?
I mean, I still have a little bit to go, so I'm not.
Like after each
Yeah.
episode, though, you don't need an eye bleach moment.
I'm not binging it by any of it. You know, that's too much. Too many spoons or whatever
Not enough spoons.
whatever you crazy kids say. So just one at a time is all I need, you know, per week.
Fair.
So
Okay. I would just like to begin with wishing everyone a happy halfway to Halloween.
yeah.
Well,
Because-
Perkish Nacht was just the other day.
Yes, we haven't seen you guys since we crossed over to the other side.
Truth.
Halfway.
It's within sight. Also, I watched Late Night with the Devil. Finally got that out of the way.
Oh, okay.
So, yep,
What do you think?
got that one in. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah, I had a good time with it. I very much enjoyed that whole 70s aesthetic and the show, the TV show, talk show they were going with. It was a lot of fun.
A little
Did a great
local
job.
connection, kind of hidden in there.
Little local. What's one? Remind me what part? Am I supposed to remember?
missed
The
it.
Grove.
Oh, yes. That's right. The
Yeah,
Grove.
yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
They just call it the Grove to
The
not
Grove.
get sued.
Yeah. So you not can make it, painfully obvious that Sonoma County is the root of all evil today.
Sorry.
So
Right here in this basement.
it's okay.
The origin. It's my one to beat. It's my horror movie to beat so far for 2024.
Interesting. I'll have
Bring
to I have to see. I gotta think about it. 'Cause I don't think I loved it as much as you. I enjoyed it, and I would watch it again. I would recommend it, but I don't know. I think maybe something at the end maybe tweaked a little me a little the wrong way. I don't know. When I say the wrong way, I mean like, you know what I mean. Instead of like finishing with a big, I thought maybe
It just kind of went.
You know.
Bleh.
well, one of the fireworks maybe went a little cockeyed. The rest went, you know, I don't know. So that being said,
painting quite a picture.
it was still a lot of fun and a great film, and it had things in it that I don't like. The little squigglies, couple little squigglies.
There were squigglies.
Mark and Kenny agree with us on that
Yes.
film.
Caleb hasn't seen it yet.
I still have not seen it yet.
Okay.
No.
Again, I'm not saying I disliked it by any means. It was, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm looking forward to Long Legs. I really want to get Long Legs in there.
Oh my God, lot legs
You know,
and cuckoo.
So Cuckoo, absolutely. So, and then one other thing to bring up is in just a couple days, producer Scott's having a birthday.
Yeah.
Cinco de Scott.
That's right.
Cinco de Mayo.
So I think everyone in chat, please wish producer Scott a happy birthday while you're in there. Hopefully he won't put you on timeout until your comment. So
We can't promise
This is true.
anything.
But
But he is a little salty because we didn't give him a birthday pic. So,
I'm not
so very,
salty.
very salty.
I'm not.
I am not. Those are lies.
Well, salty.
anyway, yeah, no army beef. Scott is the Cinco.
He's the Taurus, the bull,
Yes,
the bull.
he is the bull.
Cinco de Mayo.
That is why we watch out for Scott and his horns.
Those horns, they'll gouge ya. They'll get ya.
Anyway, that's all I have. Other than I do believe we have merch in our store, which only Caleb knows how to access. Caleb, how would they get that
Okay.
merch?
How would people
You
do
want
it?
to go to a keyboard, whether on a computer or your phone.
Okay.
You need to pull up a keyboard, and then you type in.
Okay.
Siri's just not gonna cut it.
What? Huh? What's going on?
Siri's just not gonna cut it.
www.thecultshow.com
He's a boomer.
/store. I'm all, huh?
What Siri?
What is that?
Siri?
What are you talking about? Is that like Alexa? Are they friends?
They're best friends.
Or mortal enemies, one or the other.
So once again, just in case you didn't catch that, thecultshow.com/store.
Thank you,
We
chat.
did a
Get yourself some
giveaway.
merch.
We did do a giveaway.
Yeah, is that's ending
It's ended.
tonight or tomorrow?
Yeah, no, it ended
or-
already. Actually,
Okay, so
yeah.
we'll get you a.
Did I win?
We shall announce the winners.
Did I win?
Did you enter?
Maybe.
I don't think.
alright.
I don't think. Cold
Are we
Show-
eligible to win?
I don't think
we're
I'm
not-
eligible
I didn't
to
think we
win.
were.
Maybe
yeah.
I should have entered.
I
But-
didn't. I didn't enter.
I should have entered under an alias.
Yes.
I want that merch. I want that sweet,
I
sweet
do.
merch.
Yeah, I want that
Yeah.
Abigail shirt and
A
tote.
bag? The tote?
And tote.
Where's my tote?
Just direct you to drop it off in a bush at the Target parking lot.
Do you guys remember?
I've heard that real story. I get that reference.
It was Best Buy. It was Best Buy. Do you guys remember the horrible third Conjuring movie?
No, I've only
So
seen
the
the
devil
very
made me
first
do it. It's so fucking bad. It's like it's almost offensive. It's so bad because it's like I'm upset that I watched you. But there's the part when the Warren lady, she is talking about something and she says it was a witch's totem, and it's like whenever I hear tote, I hear her in my head say that it was a witch's totem. Also, a sequel everybody's been waiting for,
Yeah.
The Pope's Exorcist Part 2,
Part 2.
has been greenlit. I don't think they know that everybody was telling their friends to watch it because it was so bad. I think they thought everybody liked it. They're like, oh my God, like, let's make another one. Hilariously bad movie. I would love it if they really just lean in. Maybe they'll
you
just
have
go
to at this
hard.
point,
Yeah,
right?
just go hard with the accent, the Vespas.
Maybe give him a sidekick that it's like
He needs
just as.
A little Asian boy, maybe.
No, I don't know.
Short
I'm
round.
thinking like, the
He's
Pink
not Indiana
Panther,
fucking
where it's-
Jones.
Inspector Clouseau and what's his little sidekick's name?
Oh God,
The
I
Pink
don't remember.
Panther.
Yeah. Anyway,
He does need a sidekick desperately.
But then Russell Crowe also has that other movie that's like
Another
the meta version of filming an exorcism
Yes.
movie. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, that's so awesome!" So I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's happening.
I don't think I'm excited about either, to be honest with you.
I mean, I'm gonna say it. We throw down the gauntlet as horror fans. Shock us. Make us love it. Make us love it. Make us love it. I would
Make
love
us
to
love
it.
your movie.
Oh my god, is Russell Crowe in the basement? Sounded just like him.
You get a Russell Crowe. You get a Russell Crowe.
Yeesh.
All right, enough
Enough.
joking
And people
around.
in Italy, we love you. We're not making
do.
fun of
They
you.
don't deserve what happened to them.
Russell Crowe did you guys dirty. How's that?
Russell.
All right.
Gotta get Russell on the horn. Let's talk about once any other bumper except for that
I
now.
know. That's the only one we have now.
It's the only one we have.
Unless Jake decides to make us some more.
It's true. Or he demands payment for his likeness.
Right?
Oh, we gave him no treats.
Maybe we can get him to hold like a torch and have him do like that. Put him
You
in a
also doing
basket.
all
Put
of
him in a
them?
basket of a bicycle.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Bicycle.
Do the
Maybe
ambulance.
sprout some wings and do the TriStar thing.
Or what's the one where they got the bow and arrow? He could do them all.
We have to. Okay. Okay.
Jake's Flakes. Jake's Flakes.
I'm gonna need
Neil, you have some jobs to do.
I do.
I know.
Jake will
Just
work
as a
for
reminder,
Flakes.
Neil does all of the video work on the show.
I'm gonna need a bigger boat.
I think we're gonna need more cats.
More cats. Some stunt doubles.
That no one asked for it. No one asked for it.
Or once.
And if you love that movie, God bless you. I'm very happy for you and your sequel. Let's talk about Dawn of the Dead from 1978.
Yeah.
Written and directed by, what's his name?
That
guy-
would be a little guy named what'd you call him? Jorge?
Oh yeah, I think I called him Jorge. George
Goddamn Romero.
Obviously. So,
Neil's least favorite director.
another one Neil hates.
Oh God, so overrated. He says jokingly because
shows.
everyone knows I
Loves
love
Romero.
George Romero. He's my favorite. George Romero.
During an escalating zombie epidemic, 2 Philadelphia SWAT team members, a TV executive and her boyfriend, who does the traffic helicopter, seek refuge in a secluded shocking mall. It's so
It wasn't grounded
shocking.
properly.
No, it's yeah, a shopping mall, and this is their exploits during that time. Ken Foree,
Yeah.
amazing, and Steven. So we watched this last night on the big screen, and every time Steven came on the screen, I was like, I was so annoyed. I fucking hate him. And Neil and I kept being like, fucking Steven.
He's very frustrating at first.
He's so,
Very
and then he
frustrating.
takes a break from being horribly frustrating, and then he's frustrating again.
You
Right.
could pull a Rocky Horror Picture Show and just say asshole every time.
Yeah.
So we have Peter and Steven, Roger and Francine. Those are really the only characters, and we love a small cast. We love when they do such a good job carrying this movie. I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. I hadn't watched this movie in a long time now, but it was one that I watched a couple of times in my youth, and I always really, really liked it. Fun fact, I'm sorry, but I liked the 2004 version too. It's super different, super different. But I think it's a fun time. But then watching this again last night, I was just like reminded of how much I love it. I just fucking love this movie so much. I adore it. I don't think I could ever get sick of this movie. I don't think I could.
Okay.
I really love it. It's up there.
Yeah.
It's up there. Love the colors. Love the 70s-ishness of it.
Yeah.
And we'll get into all of the deep stuff because it's Romero, so he's got messages.
Yeah.
So that's me. Could we throw it to producer Scott? Because this was his first time.
Sure.
Okay, yeah.
And we don't know what he thought of it.
We don't.
So there's so many films that I watch that I feel like I've kind of been press ganged into like liking your films, press ganged into liking your cult classics. Was not my thing until meeting all of you. This movie is one of the best movies I have ever seen.
Really?
This movie is outstanding. I love it. I love every piece of it. It's fun, it's smart, it's funny, it is scary. The blood is a little red, but it's still very gory and convincing in a way. Like for some reason the super red blood works in this.
I liked it.
I loved this movie.
Wow.
We're proud. Should we hug?
That makes all of us happy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
That's amazing.
I enjoy this movie as well. There's a couple things that I just really want to change in it.
Oh, okay. Gotta make a change.
It just to me, it just like every time I hear the slide whistle or or see the pies and the seltzer water, I just kind of go like, it doesn't work. I understand what you're doing, but it just like the whole overall tone of the movie, it just doesn't work for me. But other than that, I love the message. I love the idea, that you're in this mall and can do anything and everything. And great movie.
Good.
All right. Well, we're good. Yeah, I mean, for me, where do I start? I watched this film 20-ish times. I'm not even sure. You know what I mean? As a kid.
Right. I think the first time I saw it was with you.
With me? More than likely. Yeah. I probably forced Caleb to watch it.
That was one of those press gangings, yes.
Yeah, and I hadn't seen it in, man, I'm not sure, probably, 15, 20 years?
Yeah, long time.
Like it's been a long time. And it floods emotions of nostalgia for me as a kid and all the love that I had for George Romero and zombies. Back when zombies were not popular. Believe it or not, zombies at one time were not popular. It was not a lexicon of the pop culture that they are now, which people are now sick of again and moving away from. But
these things are cyclical.
They are.
Yeah.
So yeah, all the feels came back. It's like going back into an old lover's arms. It's very familiar, kind of thing. So
I hate this analogy.
Who's your lover?
Smell is the same.
And I also, the word lover makes me cringe too.
That's true.
Lover.
It reminds me of SNL. Remember the hot tub?
Oh yeah. That's a good song.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just had all this familiarity, and at the same time, seeing it on the big screen again, it was really cool. There was things that I've noticed I didn't notice before, right? Like those acrylic chairs they had in their booth. Like I never noticed those like that before. I don't know what I knew they were sitting on, but I was like, look at those acrylic chairs.
Notice so much more detail on a big screen. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's and yet for me this isn't even my most favorite Dead film of Romero's original trilogy. So that being said, I was all kinds of happy. Yeah. So I'm really, really super happy that Scott loves it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's
absolutely.
That's me.
That's a big.
That
because I could, and Caleb even I could see in a way having an issue with this because there is some influence There's a little Argento in here. There's a little
touch.
Bit, not just the music wise, but I'm talking like you can see.
No, there definitely is, but for whatever reason, this worked. I think the other thing that was really interesting was that watching this after our own pandemic, was like, oh shit, okay.
Shades of
all
that.
Right. So you're not going to listen to scientists, and you're not going to people are going to be scared and do some questionable things, and so
right.
Yeah.
That was very interesting.
Yeah, that definitely puts a new little something on it. Those were the exact same words I used to producer Scott when we got in the car last night. I was just flooded with my love for this movie. We were overcome.
Yes, we were.
So let's break it down.
That being said,
let's look at all the elements and how it comes together here. I think as much as I love a slow burn, there's something that it just has to just go off just right when you start a movie with a bang, and you just start right in, and you know, there's an art to it. And this is also where we're getting some exposition that this outbreak, this zombie outbreak, it's been happening for 3 weeks. I don't believe in the 70s they had the 24-hour news cycle as we know it today. But clearly, like, they've been on the air, they're tired, they're stressed, they're dirty. We've got our girl Franny, she's a girl boss, she's girl bossing all over that station. It's just this chaos and this tension, and they're trying to keep some form of civility during all of this, and I think it's beautifully captured.
Yeah, no, it's a great scene.
Opening scene.
I mean, like you said, it started. That's what I have here also. It opens chaotic.
Yeah.
And it's cool how you're right on that thread of, civilization is about to break down.
Right.
You know what I mean? And
they may not know it yet, but
they're clinging.
But like you said, Caleb, I mean, for us, it was like the day we were told everything stops. Go home.
Yeah. What'd we do?
And you're just kind of like,
about toilet paper.
So, I mean, really, it's kind of that whole interesting that we can almost identify with to a sense now.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So Steven, Flyboy, he says, let's meet on the roof at 9 p.m. And she's like, what? Like, we're not leaving. Like, we're going to... And he's like, no, we need to, like, fucking go. We're going to meet on the roof at 9 p.m.
Right.
So we cut to Roger and Peter. We meet these characters. And for the children in the audience who don't know George Romero, loves a societal message. And he would sometimes claim, oh, I didn't do it on purpose.
Right.
And it's like, George, baby, you did it on purpose. So it's no accident that we're in a housing project. It's very deliberate. And we've got these officers outside, and there's some tension building. There's one real bad apple in the SWAT group. Wooly, yeah. Racist piece of garbage. And there's also, we know that there's this zombie thing going on. So you can just imagine, like, tensions are really, really bubbling.
Right.
So they go in, they're looking for a guy to come out. We quickly learned that there's people in the building who have changed. They're keeping their dead, who've come back in the basement. And it's just more chaos. We go from chaos to chaos, right?
I would say they escalate the chaos.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, Wooly does not help going around just guns ablaze.
Wooly starts shooting everyone.
Slurs flying,
yeah.
But
yeah, and it's effective and it's upsetting because there's just people in there just trying to, like, live their lives and get through this thing, and there's the tear gas or whatever going off. This psycho who's killing people. Ken Forey shuts that down. Peter.
We get our first head explosion.
And it's a good one. I mean, it's sad because it's an innocent.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good. So
was this before or after Maniac?
Before.
Maniac was 80.
I would say that this is a superior head explosion.
Well, you have Tom to thank for anything.
That's interesting.
There's a story behind this head too, like there was in
Maniac
that Bill Lustig told us, if you remember. But
I like the Maniac one only because it's a slow motion. Like it's such a good enough explosion that it's a slow motion head explosion. Say that quickly.
It's a rhyme.
It's a slow motion head explosion. I like that. But
that's a good name for a band right there.
Yes.
Can that be on our next shirt?
TM.
Tom Savini's slow motion head explosion
experience.
So this is when we're introduced to a concept that we'll repeat later, where the SWAT team, they're cops, right? Like, aren't they still cops? Yeah. They're talking, and is it right to run?
Yes.
Is it right to run? There's the great heartbeat that's going on, that, like, loud heartbeat as he's staring down at, he's got to kill all these poor people. But it's the humane thing to put them out of this horrible misery.
That, and you want to make sure they don't cause trouble to anyone else.
But it's also like it's just
No.
sad.
Yeah.
Like this is the first time where we're like, yeah, they're scary, they're gross, and they can cause damage, but it's sad.
Yeah.
There's
Well, and from his standpoint, it's like, yeah, this is my job, but this isn't
Yeah.
my job.
Right.
you
right.
know?
Yeah. Nobody signed up for this exactly.
Right. And I think that's why they have no problem like leaving.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, fuck this. You know, especially what they after what they had to do.
But they
Now
do
in a room
discuss
full
that.
of-
Is it right to
room
run?
full of people.
Yeah. Is it right to run? The next note I have is the white people won't share their cigarettes. Oh, that's what they're getting. That's what they're getting in the
helicopter.
Someone
helicopter.
says they have a cigarette, they're all no.
No, and then they'll light
Then
up.
as soon as they get in the air, they're all lighting up.
So that's our little gang. They decide. Well, Roger decides to take Peter. That's his +1.
Yes.
This is my +1 for the apocalypse.
Interestingly, on that little scene when they meet the cops on that dock that are when they ask for it, there is Joseph Pilato. You obviously got that note, but he has a scene there that got cut down.
Oh.
And Joseph Pilato was Rhodes, the main bad guy in Day of the Dead. So he makes a little appearance that you only see it. It's a split second now, but he had a little bit longer scene before it got cut. But
Interesting.
Right.
yes,
And fans like to speculate that because they're talking about going down to an island.
good point.
You know,
They talk about going to an island. Which one? Any island.
Any island,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You know, so maybe he made it down.
Maybe he made it.
You know, teamed up with the underground bunker and
Maybe. I mean, he was part of the army in the
Right.
third one, whereas this were they army or
but
Maybe he
police?
joined up.
Maybe he was a
Yeah.
reserve though.
Yeah.
There you go. Who
Or
knows?
he's like, I got to get out of here. I'll join the army and like bounce.
I'm gonna stick with it and say it's the same guy.
I don't think they're checking like resumes after
that
a
point,
certain point.
Yeah, it's like just get in here. They're flying overhead, and he says those rednecks are probably enjoying the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right. So now the sport of it all sort of
Yeah,
kicks in.
and I will say this. A lot of people remember when The Walking Dead first started, and everybody's like Daryl Dixon, and then it was like very famous. It's like everybody hates rednecks until the zombie apocalypse. You want the people that have the guns and know how to use them, I guess. But
And
yeah,
how to use them is the important thing.
yeah, and it is a sporting element to it of like, and sometimes it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of sad.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's just interesting the fact that some societies, whatever you want to call them, will thrive in a predicament like this. Like
And we'll see another one later.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
but more than
But they're
likely
not sad about it as much, you know.
No,
that's
they're
the
having
point. They're like, so you
camaraderie.
You
Nobody's
gotta
enjoying
question the person that's like, oh, I finally get to like shoot someone.
I want to kill people.
You know?
Yeah, there's something unhealthy about fantasizing too much about the zombie apocalypse. There's
because of
something
all the
troubling.
things you'll get to, yeah.
All of your loved ones you get to kill. So they stop for fuel at that like little outdoor fuel station where
Yeah.
there's a hangar, and there's a really confused looking zombie.
with a big forehead.
Really big. And so there's like this notion in this mythos that the zombies retain some memory, like almost like muscle memory and things they're supposed to kind of do. So he probably worked there. Maybe he's like, oh, I have to go help this pilot. But they're also driven by their hunger above all else.
Yes.
So this is when we start to really see how much Steven sucks. Also, he does not know how to handle. Is that a rifle? And he is trying to like act like he does, and the SWAT people are like, "Stop! Stop! You're like a toddler with a firearm." And he almost kills Peter.
Yeah, not
and,
good.
And then Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen jump out of the closet.
Tom Savini's niece and nephew.
There you go.
And the only
Niece and
zombies
nephew.
in a Romero zombie film that run.
I did lean over to Neil,
She
and I'm
did.
like, "Oh, they're pretty goddamn fast. Are you okay with this?" Because Neil doesn't like fast zombies.
I don't. I said acceptable for a Romero film because
All right.
They were children.
they were children. Yeah.
They probably gave him a whole bunch of sugar and put them in that closet.
Yeah, they had monster drinks. So they were still coming off the monster.
Or it's the 70s, maybe they had Tang. They
That
had
was
some
it.
Tang and then
Tang
put them in
is
the closet.
good. I like Tang.
Tang in the
Still
closet.
like Tang.
So the zombie,
Tang in the
the big
closet.
tall one with the forehead, though.
Oh,
there's-
yeah.
There are several
There's a reason why it has a forehead
classic epic scenes in this movie.
like that. Yeah,
Yes.
One of them, this is one of them.
because it's
So-
chopper blades.
Yes, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, I was just, what is the reason for Herman Munster being in this film?
Because we needed all that forehead
Right.
Yes.
to be
You
lobbed
eventually
off.
find out.
You need the forehead to chop. Because you're, from what I recall, they had a real helicopter blade going around there.
So fucking dangerous.
So, I mean, obviously didn't stand up anywhere near close enough, but it's,
So all that brain stuff was just living inside of that the whole time?
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
They were like, that's how we're going to pull off this bit.
yeah.
So we arrive at the mall. So let's talk about mall culture for a moment.
Can we?
We must. So
I'm a mall rat.
you're a mall rat. I came in Scott and I came into our teen years, and I want to say kind of the end of the romantic mall era. Like, we were still getting dropped off and hanging out there with our friends, but it wasn't quite the 70s, 80s mall. And, like, I mean, these malls were fucking huge.
Yep.
And then it slowly has transitioned. What remains the same is the consumerism.
Okay.
That's never changed. The capitalism, the questions one makes with oneself of the morality of, is there ethical consumption under capitalism? Is there? Romero says no. So the idea of people kind of flooding the mall, like, I mean, there's still popular stores that people go to today, but that's more like online shopping. It's more like
Oh,
they'd
yeah.
be flooding the Amazon warehouse.
Right.
Is
Yes.
probably the best comparison I can think of. But again, it's the rampant need to consume. They want to eat flesh and blood, and they want to have their memories of being alive was of consuming items,
Right.
Right.
right?
Yes.
Sure.
So that's the mall.
That's the
And that's why
Monroeville
the
Mall.
zombies are there.
Yeah. And that have you ever been to that mall? I know a lot of horror fans like to go to these places.
Oh, I have
No.
not.
No.
I would love to go someday, actually. Yeah.
Monroeville.
Um
Mall in
Yep.
Monroe.
so
Ville,
you
PA.
guys talk to me about your mall culture experience.
You just go there and hang out. Didn't matter if you had money to spend or not. That was something my mom never.
Got that
Understood,
concept?
you know.
Yeah.
So you don't have any money. I'm like, I know.
We're
Yeah.
just hanging
you
out.
know, but
Yeah.
we're just hanging out.
Did you guys have arcades at your mall? Because I never had an arcade.
There was,
It was.
Aladdin's arcade briefly until it got shut down. But
Yeah.
even when it got shut down, still win.
Yeah, it wasn't that arcade that so much drew
Yeah.
us there at all. It was just that's
it,
where
oh,
you.
it helped.
I mean, it helped as
You need some
something to
change.
do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you would take the bus 4 if you were in Rincon Valley.
Yes.
Bus 4, what's up?
And you would
Absolutely.
Shout out!
shout out. What was this last week that we did 2 weeks ago? What was that for?
I don't
Oh,
remember.
carrying the canoe on our heads.
Oh, yeah, we got to carry the
What was that called,
canoe.
Scott? Freaking
Portage.
portaging. Yes.
Or ride a bike. I did ride my bike from Rincon Valley all the way downtown.
Wow.
quite a
Wow,
few
that's-
times.
A hike.
That's yeah.
When you want
That's
to go,
good.
you want to go.
Yeah, but mall life was a huge thing for us at our
Charles
age.
E. Cheese. Yes.
Yeah,
Something
we
like
had
those.
one of those in Santa Rosa, but
It was
wasn't
close to the mall.
In the mall, it was
Adjacent.
Yeah,
It was very close. But yeah, no, we had all the great stores. I mean, not all of them. We got a lot of them.
Mhm.
A lot of the great stores, which we're going to talk about a little later on in
Oh.
our game.
all right.
Yes.
Pin in that. This is where you realize it's actually a buddy cop film as well. Raj and Peter are very similar in a lot of ways. They're very much cut from the same cloth, and they are men of action. And they clearly, like, I would imagine if you're a SWAT team person, you're somebody that, a little bit of a thrill seeker, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but like, kind of like an adrenaline junkie.
I think that is very common in
Yeah,
police personnel,
work.
SWAT team, that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it
Absolutely.
makes sense that they're like, well, we could just sit here, or we could
Yeah.
fucking going to the mall. And aren't we glad they do? So the power hasn't been shut off here yet.
Yeah, interesting.
So
He says must be nuclear.
yes, he does say that. It's the
Yep.
nuclear mall.
Yeah.
So it's time to have a little fun. You know, they are trying to get some necessary things as well. Now you got the escalators on, so zombies can come up a little bit easier.
It is pretty funny when they turned everything on, though.
Yes.
Yes, it's very
Including
funny.
the music.
The music.
And the fountains.
There's a lot of great humor in this film, like, and legitimately funny, not
Yeah.
just foreheads funny,
Right.
but like legitimately funny. So this is again fucking Steven at it again, fucking things up. He wants to be like them. He wants to be like the big boys. He wants to be like, I'm like a badass male, and it's like, no, you're try hard, Steven. You're
Right.
try
But not-
hard. You're pick me.
but you're a pilot. Like
Just be happy you're a
you've done
pilot.
it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care of your wife, especially after we find out about what's going on with her. You
Yeah.
know?
This is where we get they start to call him Flyboy,
Mhm.
Yes.
and the zombies make really funny sounds in this movie.
I mean, they're not sounds you're used to necessarily.
They're funny.
They're all over the board.
They're like,
And there's some that are.
yeah, there's different pitches.
Yeah, and
yeah.
some that are.
A
you
lot
know.
of them look real surprised.
A
All
lot
the
of
time,
shocked
and-
zombies.
Yes.
They cannot believe they're in this fucking mall and they're dead.
I mean, so that's an interesting point. Obviously, is that the zombie trope, we're gonna call it, was still being created at this
yes,
point.
yes.
So, I mean, because in this film, obviously, even in the first, so Night of the Living Dead, they were still this, but
Yeah.
yet they would pick up a rock and smash a window,
yeah.
or they would crush out the headlights or whatever.
Right.
And they're evolving a little bit more.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're using some rudimentary tools.
These ones, unless the door's locked, they're turning the knob and
or
getting
climbing
in.
ladders.
Or climbing ladders
or whatever.
yeah.
So there's
Yeah.
more functionality in
Right.
this one, whereas it's definitely in the next one where they de-evolve completely and become
No.
more of the
a
mindless.
360.
Yeah, if you
Yeah.
if you put something in their way, they're just gonna keep doing this against it the whole time,
Right.
which
Kind of useful.
But they also get a lot more grotesque and
Their eating habits.
well, they're
and their physical features.
yes, they become a lot more decayed.
So I did
Yeah.
read an interesting thing that Romero said he did not give his actors any direction on
No.
how to act like a zombie. He just said play dead. Because he said if I
Can
gave
tell a
them
little.
direction, you'd have 100 people doing the
The
same
same thing,
The same
yeah.
thing. And he didn't want that. I
Interesting.
thought, that's kind of genius.
On
Okay.
that note too, I mean, when you look at it as a whole, the majority of your zombies are white people in flannel or some sort of plaid because it's the 70s. However, there is actually a lot of diversity to the zombies because they're in Philadelphia, right? So it would make sense. Like, it's not just going to be like all the same white people. And in fact, we get the very famous, everybody loves him, the Hare Krishna zombie.
Yeah.
Takes all
The
types.
staple character of the late 70s, early 80s movie had to have.
You have to have at least one Hare Krishna.
That
running around.
airplane,
We also get a good kill with the screwdriver.
get
around
the
this part.
screwdriver.
And
Did
yeah.
Caleb and I, when we went to the famous Monsters Indianapolis show that our friend Phil put on,
Mhm.
he invited us to come out, and that's where we hung with a lot of people in the bar, including Joe Pilato and some other folks. But the nurse was there.
Oh.
You
The nurse
remember?
zombie?
No.
Yeah, the nurse zombie and the Hare Krishna zombie, I think it was,
They made it.
were there. The nurse for sure.
The nun.
No, I don't even remember the two. And the nurse definitely, but we were sitting next to them having a little chat, and about it. I wish to hell now that we got pictures or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
But
No.
he had all kinds of people there because he had like a Dawn of the Dead panel and a Day of the Dead panel. But
Oh, dropping those names. Clean up on aisle 4. That was cute.
you missed a spot, Scott.
So
Anyway, I just want to put that
Yeah.
out. That when I saw her, I was like, oh hey, it's her again.
that is really
It was just
really
it's
fun.
I
fun.
think
It's-
pictures
she
would
makes
have
it
been
far.
like, that was what, 2010?
Yeah.
Oh, a long time ago now.
Yeah, I mean, I was still rocking a digital camera then.
I had my iPhone at that point. But
Digital cameras, man.
I don't know.
oh well.
Now we're back. Now they're trending. Fun to have the little like disposables again.
With the film,
Mm-hmm.
people can actually develop film.
Yeah.
Really?
Wow.
It's kind of come a little.
Where do you get
You know, everything comes back around. I
You
don't
have
know,
to go
photo
online.
places. I think there's still like
Shop
CVS's.
local, Shutterbug cameras.
Yeah,
Shutterbug
your
can do it?
local film places.
Okay.
Jeremiah's Photo Corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was he a bullfrog? Was he a
If
good
only.
friend of mine?
If only. If
Actually,
only.
fun fact: I can develop black and white film at home.
Yes, Scott can.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, so now I can finally use that roll of black and white film that's been.
It's probably expired, which could look really cool. So now we get to have a little bit of an up close and personal moment with Franny.
Okay.
She's pregnant.
She
that-
is.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't have known it from all the cigarettes
Yeah.
she's smoking.
Oh my
so-
God.
All the wine she
And all,
drinks.
the wine, and all the
wine.
wine she's drinking later on.
It's the
but-
70s, and that's when they were like telling mothers, "This is very good for your baby. Your baby loves alcohol and smoke."
Okay, so I have watched too many of these films with you because in my head I went, "Oh no, pregnant! This is gonna go real
No.
scary." I was expecting that kind of scene
Yeah.
to come from this film. I
This
guess it was
baby to
still a
come
little
tearing
too early
out.
for that. It wasn't too early to kill children, but it was a little too early for that.
Hey, as long as they were Savinis, I guess, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't matter then. Okay, so you bring that up, and I know it was. I'm sure this is all in our questions or notes, but I gotta ask.
Mhm.
I want to know, where did Peter learn to do abortions?
I have in my note, I said, "Need an abortion? We've got a guy."
I mean, his grandfather was a voodoo high priestess, and so
Okay.
that's the only that little
Connection
line
you
of
can make?
dialogue
Okay.
and this line of dialogue saying he could perform them.
Here's
That's
the
all I
thing
got.
is, you know, I'm trying to like find gentle words here. It is very random how he's like, "Do you want one? I could do one."
Do you want it? Do you want the baby?
He
You
seemed
wanna
like
keep it?
excited.
Yeah,
he seemed
seriously.
low key excited. Like
I agree.
This is my chance.
Yes.
This is
I've
his
been
red
waiting.
knocked-
I've been
redneck
preparing my
zombie
whole
shoot.
life for this.
The speculum's right over here.
I think that.
Oh,
Okay.
Jesus, we're going to hell.
Go ahead.
Hate you all. So I think that throughout time and society, everybody has not always had access to abortions, and they still don't. And so sometimes in communities, there are people that look out for each other and do know how to do these things. And that's kind of... So fuck you guys. So I think that's
As we
like...
get all quiet, hang our heads in
Yeah,
shame.
hang your
Sorry.
heads in shame.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It just seems
Sorry,
a little
Sandra.
It was a little. He
Weird.
seemed a little eager, but that's my
like you.
take.
You honestly could have cut that little bit out, and you wouldn't lose anything. You know what I mean for
Right.
storyline in the film because it never
I-
comes up again.
I think it was kind of like giving a chance for Franny to make a decision about, because kind of the reading of it is like pregnancy is optimism, it's believing in a future, it's believing in society. So it's kind of like he says, "I can do that for you," like is almost a way to be like, are you gonna choose that or are you gonna choose hope? Not, and I'm not saying, I mean, this is a very 1970s viewpoint of, but that's the reading I got from
It's
it.
not like we had clinics on every corner
It-
like we do
exactly.
in California. But
Um,
also, they also don't do a great job all the time of emoting the correct response. So I'm
Yeah.
not going to
yeah.
fault him for that one.
Okay.
So she's feeling some type of way, and we really can't blame her because she is having to make a really crazy decision right now in this absolutely chaotic time. And she's still a bad bitch. And she's telling him, "I want to be involved in the fucking decisions. I don't know about you assholes, but I'm learning how to fly that helicopter up there." And Steven gets butthurt about it. And it's like, fuck you, Steven. You're so lucky you have Franny. I was like, she could do so much better. And Neil was like, yes.
I mean,
like,
Roger Peter.
And like, there's literally two better options than Steven.
I'm pretty sure I saw what do you call, like a lingerie and spice store, which you could do better. And get,
You could also
Get
just
herself
have
a little
no
handheld.
no
or
man.
just be you.
Yeah.
And be, cute as hell and
Yeah.
awesome and a badass bitch.
And she does
like,
everybody's
fucking-
hair.
Like, I'm not going to be your den mother. I'm not going to...
Yes.
I'm not going to cook for you. I'm not going to clean up after you.
I love it
Right.
when she does like her own full beat, puts on her own full drag too, because if you're there in the mall, you might as well have a little fun. But yeah, so she's awesome.
Yeah.
Roger starts cracking a little.
Yeah. And so the time of this, how long do you think they were there? Like,
Before he starts to crack.
Just, I don't know, overall, but yeah, before he starts to crack. Like,
I think they weren't there that long.
no, yeah.
Like week, 2 weeks.
okay, that short.
I think it was that short
yeah.
for him.
Okay. For him.
Yeah.
For
I
him.
think
Well,
they were
yeah.
there longer. Okay.
Yeah, afterwards, definitely. But,
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But so he's kind of cracking a little. I think it's, which is understandable in this situation. People are gonna crack. They're doing this elaborate thing with trucks, and it's to block the doors.
It doesn't seem that elaborate though.
Well, like
it feels like he makes it harder by being all woohoo.
Yes.
Like, I mean, he's doing like this
He's like,
Woody
"Yeehaw!
Woodpecker
Yeehaw!"
like woo
Yeah.
woo woo woo.
yeah,
And it's just like, what are you doing?
No,
you're a SWAT.
you're a SWATman.
You're supposed to like be calm under pressure.
He's having a little bit of like living out some sort of something.
yeah. The fate that befell him is purely his fault.
his own fault.
Because-
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was
Hubris.
being stupid. I mean, both of them, honestly, why do you have to put the truck so close together? Like, if you're going to, what I mean? Like, he could be over here, and then, because he would have been a lot easier for him just to jump out the car, close the door, and run to the truck to get away from a crowd squeezing into a little space between the two. You know what I mean?
Again, it's part of this elaborateness that I'm like, should we? Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be that elaborate.
Right.
you
And
know?
Peter even clocks him and is like, it's your life and my life out here.
right.
And he's kind of like, yeah, you're right. But he's foolhardy a bit. And I do like Roger. I do like him.
Yeah. Well, he got everything. He got cock. He got everything. Just letting his legs flail out there and not caring, like they're not going to hurt him. I don't know.
Yeah, that was...
Not checking his six, not
Right.
Yeah.
All the things.
So he gets bitten, unsurprisingly.
Yeah,
Twice.
Yeah. I think it's really cool how they kind of rig up a wheelbarrow thing for him.
Yes.
Because I guess there wasn't a wheelchair. They have
No.
all this shit in that mall and no wheelchair.
No medical supply store. This isn't Return of the Living Dead.
You're right.
This is...
You're right. So, but he can still shoot and he's still contributing.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean, he's still part of it. And so, again, like, how long does that go on, though? That he's...
No more than 3 days.
That's what
That's
he
what they
says.
s- that's
I think
what he
stre-
says,
I think he stretched
but-
it out about 7.
You think so?
I do,
I
because
mean,
they
it-
were
It
trying.
seems to go on a long time.
Yeah, and I think
They
that's
do a
just.
lot of things.
I think that's just because they're trying to keep him alive. They're keeping him healthy. She's giving him morphine and some
Morphine.
different things. So I think like
Changing
he pushed
his
it out.
bandages regularly.
Yeah, so I think he his dressings. So I think his got pushed out just a hair. And that's also awesome because that's they're trying to rig up a thing, get the doors closed, and badass Franny is like, why don't you just use the car? And it's like, duh. Such a good idea. And that whole car scene is so tense. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Even fucking Steven pulls his weight around them.
That's when he starts to step 2 a little better.
Yeah.
He
He
does.
starts coming through. Although, here's a question. Why did they not lower those gates then when they were doing it? Why did they wait
Right.
until raiders come in?
Yeah.
Maybe
Or-
a little hubris, honestly.
Okay.
I mean, it did seem very, like, but not just close the gates, but also, maybe throw some obstacles out in front. Maybe throw
Yeah.
some plywood or something over the gates. Maybe.
Yeah. I think there was a little bit of resting on their laurels, a tiny bit. That they were kind of like, oh, we'll be fine. We got this, kind of thing. Just a bit. They got a little too comfy.
Yes.
Um,
they did.
They got a little too comfy. And then it kind of, I'm jumping ahead, but then it kind of backfires and they develop a sense of ennui because they're like, what the fuck is happening? Existential crisis.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, it's so emotional when Roger's like, meh, he's like hallucinating, and it's like, yeah, we got him, Raj.
Yeah, that was a little
We
tough.
got him, didn't we? We got
We
him.
whooped him. We whooped him, didn't we, Roger? That was sad
Ugh.
because you know what was coming next.
Now we have a great kind of montage of them enjoying some of the spoils of
Yeah.
the mall. We got to clean up because
First,
these,
we got to clean up.
yeah,
Put them in cold storage.
with the
Along with the rest of
the zombies
food.
next to the meat, symbolism was not lost on me,
Yeah.
George. I got you. Everybody's favorite when they take the picture in the bank holding the money.
Right.
That got a good cheer in the
Yeah.
Did
audience.
it? Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody's like, you know what, Banks? Screw you, Banks.
I
Raj-
love the little. There was a little banner there talking about student loans.
Yes, there was.
I feel like
There's a
someone was a
purpose.
little ahead of his time on that little
That was
call
on
out.
purpose.
Okay.
Raj gets a hat.
No, and they all, and so this is, I think, where some of the consumerism stuff comes in, because even though it's just them, they're like wearing furs, they're wearing jewelry. It means absolutely nothing. They don't need to be stylish. They don't, the air conditioning's probably on, and like,
Yeah.
and yet
Yeah.
they're still like,
They're not immune to
When
it.
in Rome,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. They're not immune to it. Just like none of us would be too. We would
Yeah.
definitely party it up in the mall.
I do it before we cleared the zombies out. So.
Like, can we have a little fun for
I honestly, I feel in a way, because in one regard, it's you're going through a stressful thing. You just did this giant thing, clearing out a mall,
Right.
locking it off. You think you've made yourself safe for an extended period of time, and
Sure.
then you get to finally let the steam out and go have some fun.
Yeah.
Your friend is freaking dying of zombie bites. You know what I mean, kind of thing.
Zombie-itis.
Trying to show him a good time with a jar of olives.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
So relatable.
And you think they didn't go like overly. They weren't excessive in what they weren't destroying things. They weren't, you know what I mean? They were kind of taking this or that and kind of, so it's kind of like they at least were choosy in their excessive, shopping spree perhaps. But
Now we all like olives, right? We all love an olive.
Well,
I'm not a
some
huge-
of us
Not a
do.
huge.
I like a
fan.
top and nod, but I don't want to just
Noted.
I don't want to just eat an olive whole.
I
But when
love
he
olives.
was eating the olives and drinking the juice, I was like, that would be the three of us with the fucking jalapenos. We like the three of us trapped
Right.
in the mall would be like, we're gonna need every jalapeno on the eastern seaboard.
There you
Like, I need them. They find coffee and a huge bread.
They do.
So now we're
That's
at
funny. They find all the good stuff.
my personal favorite part of the movie, probably a lot of people's favorite part of the movie, when they're watching the zombies mill about, and they're perhaps having a bit of judgment, but then Peter says, "They're us. That's all." On the nose. And of course, when there's no more room in hell, the dad will walk the earth, which is
Yep.
what his
Right, that's where we get the
grandfather said.
grandfather.
And
After he showed him how to do abortions.
we probably showed him a lot of really fucking cool,
Yeah.
useful things.
Yeah.
But wish I had a grandpa like that. But
Probably
yeah,
taught
so
him how to
it's
SWAT too.
so then they have it's just so perfect. I love
It is cool,
love that
yeah.
part of
Yeah.
the movie so much. And
It's
then
nice. It's also nice. I'm sorry. I just want to
Yes,
say
please,
it's
please.
also nice that it's Peter, who is the wise person.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And another great thing for Romero when he just is giving the less traditionally, seen person, if you will, that
Yeah. It's not the white guy saying it.
Exactly. He's giving them. He's the wise person. He's the ultimate protagonist.
Yes, he's the hero, just like in Night of the Living Dead.
Right.
Yeah, he did it again. And then Ken Foree gets to say that line again in the 2004 Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
On the TV, he's like a tele-evangelist preacher,
Ah.
and he's talking about, you brought this on with your men-on-men relations and your sexual fornication, and he says the line about the dead walking the earth.
Mm.
And I always thought that was really, really cute that he kind of got to reprise that, but he's being an
In like a
antagonist.
Right.
hateful way.
That
Yeah.
is cool.
The news people, I said it's turned into like Fox News, MSNBC. People are screaming at each other.
Oh, it's great. Like the camera's like off kilter. There's
Yeah.
people walking in frame, and
They're
you know,
drunk.
like, they're pouring alcohol.
But they're trying to stay on. And as the scientist with one eye says, and it's really good. I really enjoy this scene. Actually, he's talking about logical, rational,
Yep.
rational.
I like that.
Trying to hold on, because again, we know that the zombies are us. So what's going to keep us from them
Right.
is keeping our logic and our rationality and our sanity. And then we have the absolutely heartbreaking Roger and Peter goodbye that you know is coming.
Yes.
Yes.
And now every zombie property ever has,
Yes.
you know, the loved ones. That's not your mother anymore. Fun fact, I was really sick last week. Like, I was hella sick.
Mhm.
I looked like Roger.
With Scott waiting with the gun in the room.
In case she
With a bottle of
turns.
Jack Daniels and a gun.
That's it. And again, iconic scene where he pulls the
It is
blanket
where he
off.
pulls it
and-
off. Yeah.
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 Icon.
Super iconic.
So many.
What would you guys do, or how do you feel about what that scientist was saying with regards to just feed them, or drop a bomb on them? Like, if when you're talking about rational and
It's
you know.
hard. I mean, there's no playbook for how you do this.
right,
So you're going to think of every option, every avenue. I was always a big fan of, like, in Shaun of the Dead, where we turn them into indentured workers.
okay,
Yeah, I
it's
think
just-
you're still trying to keep most of your infrastructure going because you want to use
Right.
it afterwards. So, like, bombing is
Pretty extreme.
like a last resort, especially since they could be all spread out all over the place.
well, yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
but they're
you're gonna
saying
bomb
is
everything.
well, your cities are the major population centers of where the breakouts are.
Right.
So wipe out the cities so that you can hopefully gain control over it then at that point.
But you think about loss of life and innocent people, and will they be able to evacuate the
Right.
cities?
But if you keep it going the way it is, the exponential growth of that, you're not going to survive. There will be no society. So
Neil,
it's
Neil
like,
wants to
man.
bomb.
Yeah, I don't know if I could live with the,
bomb them.
you know, that blood on my
I'm just saying,
hands.
I can understand the logic of it.
Well, yeah, they're gonna think of they're gonna go through every
I
option.
think they're going to do everything until nothing works, and then they will, if there's anyone left to fly the planes, then they
That's a
will
good
bomb.
point. Yeah,
Last
it's
resort.
it's a lot to think about. Peter makes the couple a nice dinner.
Yeah, he tries.
It was
You know,
it's so sweet.
he tries to make up for what's his name again?
Which one?
The flyboy.
Steven.
Steven's assholishness.
And then I did roll my eyes a little bit that Franny wouldn't wear the goddamn ring.
Oh,
Just
okay.
put the ring on.
It's like
It wouldn't be real.
And I'm like, what's real these days? It's
no,
as real as
I think it
anything.
just means that she didn't want to.
You think she's
Oh
denied
no, I
him?
think it was just that was a hard no without saying no.
Interesting.
Well,
To
'cause
someone that she was stuck in a mall with,
Right.
possibly for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
rest of her life. Yeah.
that she might need later on, so she, has egos to
Interesting.
stroke and.
Yeah.
But I think if she actually loved him, it wouldn't have mattered if it was real or not.
Agreed. I mean, the very next scene, they're laying in bed, clearly discontent.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
starting
so-
like at the end way is setting in, right?
Right.
Was there always that much alcohol in a mall? There's so much booze.
Well, they had a whole grocery store in there.
Yeah.
That's true.
And there was a Brown Derby restaurant. So
yeah.
I'm sure they were
Oh.
probably well stocked for the 3 of them.
And I was thinking, like, if this was set today, it would be cannabis. Because there's so many, like, especially in our neck of the woods, there's so many cannabis distribution
Yeah.
places. You
Be
would
growing it on the roof.
Yep,
There you
growing
go.
it.
Yeah, in our mall, now you think about it, I mean, there'd
There's
be
no-
beer, wine, maybe at a couple of those restaurants downstairs, but that'd be
Oh,
about it,
maybe.
right?
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
They've they're trying to make the place homey and nice, and we totally appreciate that. But I love how they've added faux plants to the living space, and it's like, and over here we have a tasteful fern.
But they put carpet down on the
They
floor.
put carpet
and,
down. They're trying.
I mean, they had a J.C. Penney's. They had their pick of
Yeah.
They
what
did.
would fit in that room.
Yeah.
Basically,
And
if
they
you can get
chose
through the door.
those clear acrylic chairs.
The chairs are the real horror of this movie.
No way. Those were fire back in 1978.
I want to
when
get
this
me a
was
set.
set.
What are you guys talking about?
I know.
So now we have a little funsies. Tom Savini.
These,
And
are,
his-
these are Scott's favorite people.
Because they're the Raiders.
Because they're the Raiders.
His band of miscreants.
Stupid.
So we're huge Tom Savini fans.
We love Tom Savini.
And so, like, I feel like we were giddy with excitement.
Yes.
And we're like, look at Tom.
Look
He's
at
being
him.
silly.
Look at his mustache.
And he's like got a little comb thing.
He has a little switchblade.
Oh, do you remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Switchblade
Oh, yeah.
combs?
And I was thinking about if I was in the gang, like I'd be like, maybe I could drive a motorcycle and I'd have Tom Savini in my little sidecar. And then I was like, Neil's gonna fight me for Tom Savini. We're gonna need a 3-person motorcycle.
It's true. We would not be. It'd be a fight there. So
You two would be in Tom Savini's sidecar, not the other way around.
Here's the thing: is we'd have to
Trying to throw each other out of it.
I know, right?
right, Tom.
Tom's
You
like,
like
don't
me,
make
Ben?
me separate you two.
But you see, what it would have to come down to who's going to be a more skillful driver and who's going to be a more skillful shot, is what
Okay.
it is really what it comes down to determine who's on the bike and who's in the sidecar. Think about it logically, people.
I could be. Maybe I'd sit behind him, and you
Yeah.
could be in the sidecar.
So you're riding backwards on the back.
Right.
You're in the gunner
Backwards if I
seat.
have to. Yeah, I'm in the gunner seat. Exactly.
I don't hate it. Let's try it.
Okay. Give it a shot.
I'm going to hijack real quick because I think Jake Jolly in chat said something really interesting, saying it'd be hard to enjoy anything with the zombies surrounding the mall. I want to comment on that because I think that that's one of the messages of this film. Of there's always just awful stuff happening all around us, and yet
Yes.
somehow we always try to find
Joy.
home and joy and comfort within a world outside of us that's absolutely nuts. I think that's
true.
one of the messages of this film.
Yeah.
I do too, and it kind of comes back to that logical, rational. What do we do to normalize, for better, for worse? Sometimes the way we normalize tragic things.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and kind of again a little bit of that will, that indomitable human spirit to carry on, which comes back. But yeah, these are. I mean, it makes you think.
It does.
It will make you think.
I mean, that's half or a big part of the reason to keep doing this show. So I have. I mean, there's a lot of bad stuff going on, but I get to see you guys. I get to talk to people out there, and we get to do this. And you notice we don't bring up a lot of this shit. Most of the stuff in the world happening, right? Because we're here to not have to.
Yeah,
Anyway.
we do when it's relevant,
Yeah,
because horror is political.
right.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
we don't typically
we're like,
bring up
yes,
all the horrible
you see
stuff.
this
Doing
shit.
A daily recap.
You guys get enough of that already out there
Yeah,
every day in the news, so I don't know. But it
It's
helps
true.
me. It's therapeutic.
Yeah, great comment, Jake.
That being
Thank you.
said, I want to go
Jake
shoot a
also
zombie.
directed his own zombie movie.
He
Clay
did.
Zombies.
That's right. I'm sure George was a influence for you as well, I would hope.
Yeah.
Being a zombie dude.
Wouldn't that be wild if he was like, no, fuck
No,
him.
yeah.
Ruined the zombie genre.
So yet again, fucking Steven. Fucking Steven. He
Steven.
can't just be cool. So this is now he's cracking up
Right.
because he's like,
It's ours.
it's ours.
It's mine.
Yeah,
We
he-
took it.
Yeah, he's going hella Bilbo Baggins, Exactly, Fellowship of the Ring. Like, this is my ring. And it's like Peter's like, just fucking be cool. They're just like the zombies. They want this. They want the place.
Right.
They're gonna take their stuff and then they're gonna go. How much can they fucking carry on motorcycles anyway? And like 2 vans. It's fine. And they will leave you alone if you just wait. Fucking Steven can't wait.
But isn't it interesting how they were so, as you said before, cautious and careful and only
Yeah.
took a little bit, And then those low-life
Raiders.
raiders come in.
Motorcycle
And
people.
they're just like smashing windows and grabbing this and grabbing
Seltzer
that.
bottles and pies.
Grabbing the shirt with the tie, and then like, nah, throwing that back.
The one who really wants to check his blood pressure for some reason.
Yeah, and then okay, that's another thing that needs to go.
It's just to have the bit.
It's not funny though. It's just as funny as the pie in the face.
I thought all of that was funny.
No.
Horrible.
Yeah.
The 0 over
Horrible.
0
Yeah.
to cap off the end of that
Horrible.
entire scene.
No, it's funny.
Was brilliant.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's the absurdity
Right.
of these people, and they're, like you said, they're extreme consumers.
Yeah.
You know, it's just they're absurd. That's what it
And
is.
they're taking, like we were talking about how different, maybe subcultures of people are going to react in the
Yes.
zombie apocalypse. So their thing is kind of like, it's the ultimate, I don't know, like Mad Max, beyond Thunderdome experience for them, where they just can pillage and plunder. And probably, maybe I'm reading into this, but maybe they're on the outskirts, they're misfits in society, and this is their fuck you to society. This is their fuck you to consumerism. And, the society that rejected them for being biker people. And so now they're like, we're just going to cause chaos. Take what we want.
Whatever it is, I think they're thriving in this new world. And, they're the ones who are going to live for quite a bit longer, as long as they don't make stupid mistakes like going into a mall.
Though. Are they
Well,
though?
they were until
or are they just going to keep finding new people to replenish the
The king.
the high losses that they're taking?
That pennant would have not supported anybody's weight. By the way, the little flag pennant.
That he jumped off the.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't
the
think so?
Tarzan
I don't
thing.
think that would have.
Okay.
But it's still fun.
But you bring him up, may I say? So Tom Savini we talked about, and then Tasso Starlakis. I can't remember exactly how to pronounce his last name. That was his Savini's
Helper.
a helper, but that's the right word. Apprentice, what do you want to call it?
Yeah.
In his special effecting of the film.
Yeah.
Also, they were stunt men together on the film. So like you said, I love Tom Savini. Loved him. He used to, go to his house and smell his underwear that he would throw away in the garbage. It was like whatever I could find.
I never do that to you,
That he
Tom.
would leave in the parking lot.
Tom, I never.
All the things.
I never do that to you, Tom.
No,
And that's why you're in the sidecar. And
that's
he's
right.
in
And
the-
I'm in the back. But anyway, point being, so I just would gather any information I had about Tom and learned it as a kid about him. So I found it fascinating that he was like the actor, the special effects guy, and then the stunt guy, all these things. And it's just, to me, it's just so awesome. Just what a Renaissance man he was at that time.
He wasn't
And
hired
Yeah.
to do any of the acting
So-
stuff. He was just supposed to make the
The
gore
effects. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is just so cool.
He's just fucking awesome. Trailblazer.
And Trailblazer. And when you put him and Romero together, that was like, and then you put Stephen King, you drink the Trinity, man. It just like drives me nuts. I can't contain myself. But yeah,
No,
Romero.
and
Savini.
why would you try?
Why would you? I don't know.
Flyboy gets it. Finally gets
Okay, I will say he
bitten.
made a great zombie.
He did a good zombie shuffle.
Yeah, I think that's like people saw that and they started to go like, oh, okay. Instead of this,
Yeah.
Right.
we're
He's
just
kind of doing like a, oh shit.
fuck balls.
We're knocking over water bottles. That's method right there, Caleb. That's method.
And because Steven's muscle memory is trying to get back to Franny,
Right,
he brings all boys to the yard.
he does.
He brings all the zombies over with his little dance.
Tear
Yeah.
down walls
Yeah.
that were apparently made just out like poster board.
Yeah, not so
You're
strong.
like maybe beef that up a little bit.
I mean,
too.
they didn't have sheetrock there. I buy
It's
that.
a facade.
Yeah.
It's a facade.
It's a pretty
yeah.
convincing facade.
Yes.
So now we're in the bitter end of the film. And
Steven gets a good to the head.
Yeah, he
That's a good
does.
squib.
Yeah.
Blood everywhere.
squib, good word. And of course, now we're reiterating the filmmaker's message, as always, at the end of the film. What are they trying to say? So he's made all these wonderful points and all of these, holding a mirror up to society and all of that stuff. And so Peter is thinking about ending his own life.
Right.
And he doesn't. And I have tears in my fucking eyes during this whole part. And he goes on and he fights
Yeah, he chooses to live.
and it's all about going on. It's all about I don't know what's gonna bring. I don't know what the future's gonna bring. I don't know what tomorrow holds for any of us. But we choose.
We choose life.
We choose life.
Right.
We choose to
Yep.
go on.
So that was not the original written ending.
No.
Did you read about this?
Yes, I did.
You
Please,
did?
go.
Okay. So he was supposed to shoot himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fran was also going to take her life by standing up into the chopper blades.
Wow.
So
Yes.
that head that explodes in the very beginning of the movie was going to be her head.
Mm.
And then they changed it up when they decided they were going to live, dressed it up as a black man, and then exploded it with a shotgun.
They did that.
they did that.
They did that.
You know? So it's going to be a more bleak ending, and then the credits were going to roll with just the blades spinning. And then while the credits were still rolling, the blades were just going to stop, showing that there wasn't much gas left in the tank anyway. So they wouldn't have gotten far.
That ending sucks.
Especially when you've got like slide whistles and pies in the faces. And...
No.
Dude.
Whoop. We were like dancing.
We were like,
and
dude. I mean,
it's so much fun.
I did lean to Sandra and say, I would think in the shopping mall you'd want to play music that wouldn't drive you freaking insane.
Yeah, it's like you would want
Like,
to stay in shop.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Over time.
I'll never know. I guess Tangerine Dream wasn't available. But yeah, of
No,
course.
but it was the goblins.
the Gerblins.
the goblins with
The
Dario
Gerblins.
Argento.
Brilliant movie, absolutely brilliant. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change a thing. It's perfection.
And I would only change a few things.
Yeah,
But I
wouldn't-
said that already.
You did. And Scott loved it, and I love it, and there you go. Good times.
So because this is a
Yay.
big, long movie with lots going on, we went a little over our normal talkie time.
We did, but that's okay. It's a 45th anniversary celebration.
And you know what? It's also our fucking show. We can do whatever we want.
There's that too.
All right,
All
let's
right.
play a game.
We have a game. Be back in 30 seconds-ish. Welcome back. We're here again to play a wonderful game. We're going to continue on the theme of malls and America's malls with a What Store Am I quiz. So basically, I'm going to give you guys some of the trivia, I guess you would say, about certain stores that were found in malls, like when this store was created, who created it, what they sell, that kind of thing. Hopefully, I'll give you enough that you can give me the name of that store.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
That
Yeah.
totally makes sense. Don't even
Excellent.
need it for an example.
Okay, no example needed.
I think we
We've
got
got,
it.
we've
We
got
got
a
it.
lot of these,
We're
so we're gonna see
relatively
how we
smart
do.
people.
I think a lot of these you'll figure out because I'm not playing tricks on you or nothing. I'm just gonna, see what you guys know.
You're always up to some
So
tricks.
I am always into something though. Producer Scott, you're encouraged to chime in
Okie dokie.
when you are able to.
But not you, Michael. Just kidding.
I'm just trying to make sure that there is no echo from my microphone. That's all.
Okay. Well, good luck with that. We hope you can accomplish. All right. This first store was founded in 1968. It's a clothing company. Its first clothing line established by Susie and Doug Tompkins and was initially sold out of a VW bus. This mall staple appealed to young women of the 80s for all their rad fashions. It's from the French word spirit.
Spirit.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know anything about the facts, just the French word for spirit.
Right.
It's not pronounced
Spirit.
Well, I remember the
Isn't it
store.
Esprit?
Esprit, yeah.
Whatever. Sure.
I'm
All right,
wondering.
You got ding me for
Esprit?
No,
pronunciation?
we got that one.
Okay,
We
you got it.
it.
You got it. You got it. Very good.
All
All right. This hair.
Give us a point.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, ding.
Ding. This hair salon started in 1922 by Paul and Florence Coonan, opened as Coonan Beauty Salon, which quickly expanded into a chain of value-priced salons located in department stores and then malls. Their son Myron bought the chain in 1958 and changed the company's name to what it is today. Do you know of any?
Supercuts?
No.
I
Found in malls.
feel like I know this. I feel like there's like a
Great clips.
Vidal Sassoon.
No.
No.
That's a good guess, though, Scott. Very good guess.
Paul Mitchell?
No. Okay, I'm
Had
gonna
Paul in
give
it.
it to you. It's a hard one if you have never gone. Regis Hairstylist. Regis
Did we have one of
Hairstylist.
those?
I don't know if
I
we
don't
did,
know
but it's
that
a real
one.
thing.
That sounds vaguely familiar.
I like it's
they,
when
they
it,
used
yeah.
to. They may have cut my hair in the mall
They may have.
in junior high.
They very well may have had one. I don't recall.
Regis.
But all right, this next one a little easier, I think.
Okay.
Founded in 1948 and headquartered in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey, this store is a gift and novelty retailer. Today, the company operates more than 700 mall-based stores in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom.
Spencer's?
Spencer's Gifts, very good,
Nice.
very good. This store is an international discount footwear. Point. Footwear chain established in 1956 by cousins Louis and Shaul Poses. Discount footwear.
Is it
Discount.
Payless?
Yes,
Oh.
Scott.
It's
Good
Payless
job.
Payless
Shoe
Shoe
Source.
Stores. Yep.
Love
Miss you,
that.
Payless.
I know,
Sorry,
right?
REB.
Rip.
REB says we're too fast. We're too good at this game.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Army.
that's usually not our problem.
No, that's
so
not
we're, just,
usually.
we're just gonna go with it.
Army,
Sorry.
This next one, Army, you'll have time to get it before they do. All right. Joseph Cole started the Cookie Place in Youngstown, Ohio. Soon thereafter, he was contacted by two gentlemen looking for someone to help rescue them for their struggling cookie chain. Based on the success he had been seeing at his Youngstown store, Mr. Cole purchased the company in late 1977 and attained their 24 existing outlets. By 1982, Joseph opened 90 more stores in malls.
Mrs. Field.
That's
Mrs.
the-
Fields?
the only
Otis?
cookie
Otis
place on-
something?
No, Otis Spunkmeyer.
Not Otis
No,
It is? No, okay.
and not Mrs.
Auntie
Field.
M's?
Not Auntie M's either.
Fuck.
No.
Okay, we're out. We
So
don't. know.
Mrs. Field was actually opened by a young lady named something
Mrs.
Fields.
Fields.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay. Did anyone else have a guess in the chat, Scott? Did I give Army enough time?
No, not yet.
All right.
No.
The answer is the original cookie company.
Never heard of it.
Never heard
Yeah.
of it.
No,
Never
we didn't
heard
have
of
them.
it.
We had Mrs.
Nope.
Fields here.
We had
in
Mrs.
Santa
Fields,
Rosa,
yep.
so.
I
That's
think
very
it's still
cute.
there, actually.
No.
Oh,
they-
is it finally gone?
No, it's been gone for a while.
It's like a
Oh, sorry.
it's like a hibachi thing
Yes.
now. They cook your
Yeah.
food on a big
Hot dog on a stick made
Thing.
it, but they didn't.
No, hot dog's gone
no,
also.
they're gone too.
What?
Orange
Yep.
Julius is gone.
Oh, is there anything left?
There's nothing.
There's Panda Express that we ate. We had food from there tonight.
You
We
know-
had mall food tonight.
There's. Okay, this might be on the list, so I won't say it. I won't say
Okay.
what I missed the most yet.
Not yet.
Okay.
All right.
Mrs.
No point.
Fields was actually a ball girl for the Oakland A's. I did not know that.
That's so cool.
Wow.
Mm.
This bookseller was an American retail bookstore chain founded in 1966 by Bruce Dayton, a member of the same family that operated the Dayton department store chain.
Walden Books.
The company expanded to become the largest retailer of hardcover books in the United States with 779 stores at the peak of the chain's success. It is not Walden Books.
Barnes and Noble.
It
Would
is
you
not
stop?
Barnes and Noble.
I'm not allowed to guess.
Well, no, but at some point he's gonna like let us not guess anymore, and you've gotten all the guesses.
You can guess.
What's the other one?
Borders?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Not Borders.
Not Borders.
All right, Scott, you can guess again. We had our fun.
Okay. It is B. Dalton Booksellers.
That's not real.
Oh, wait, one more, Scott. I skipped that one. Sorry. Thank you.
Well, I guess we know the answer to one of them.
I skipped it. I was trying to not, do them all.
Yeah, I don't know that I know them.
Never heard of
You
that.
never heard of B. Dalton? Oh,
I
wow.
don't think so. We had a Walden in the mall.
A Walden in the ball.
We did. B. Dalton. Okay. This purveyor of music and movies first opened in Roseville, Minnesota in 1986 as Paramount Pictures,
Suncoast.
soon changing their name in 1988. In 1999, in 1988. In 2001, Best Buy purchased the then parent company for $685 million. And Scott, what was that?
Suncoast.
That is correct. Suncoast Motion Picture Company.
Scott used to work at a Suncoast.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Were you there when they changed the name, or was that before?
Well, I'm not quite that old.
Suncoast. All right.
Look at that logo. I remember that.
Right.
That neon.
That was later that was 90s for us,
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. The first of these stores opened at the original Muscle Beach location next to the Santa Monica Pier in Santa Monica, California, in 1946, serving lemonade and corn dogs on sticks to people on the beach.
Scott, you better have it.
Hot dog on a stick.
That's the one.
Gold's Gym. That's what I thought you were going with.
No, this is hot dog on a stick.
Look at the lemonade, like
I know,
floating
right?
in space.
All
They
right.
had really good lemonade though. They had really good corn dogs.
The people look happy.
They look excited. They're excited to be there. This store was an American commerce company that offered such general merchandise as furniture, tools, home appliances, and clothing. It was founded in Chicago in August of 1872 and was the first mail-order business,
Sears.
eventually opening department
Oh, I
stores
thought we were ready.
as demand grew.
Sears.
The answer is not Sears.
What was the year?
1872.
1872.
It is Montgomery
Yeah.
Wards. Very good, Michael.
That'd be one of
My
those.
goodness. Remember Montgomery
I
Ward?
do.
We
But
did have them like a
For me, it was like a catalog we got.
Right.
I don't know that we had
We didn't go there a
a
lot.
store.
Okay.
I want
Let's
it to
see.
be Sears.
Here's a popular one. Started in 1966 in San Francisco by Doris and Don Fisher. For decades, this was one of the most beloved retailers in the U.S. with its laid-back classics and iconic denim. In 1983, it purchased Banana Republic and started Old Navy in 1994.
Gap.
Gap. Very good. Good job.
Fall into the gap.
All right.
These guys were established in Waverly, New York in 1894. An ambitious young man named George Romero revolutionized footwear retailing by offering popularly priced shoes to American working families. Popularly priced shoes.
Popular, right?
So I guess it means lower priced shoes to
What do we
American
think?
working
Like
families.
Foot Locker?
So not Foot Locker though?
No, not Foot Locker.
Okay,
You gotta
'cause
think
that
old
was
school.
like-
Think old school.
But
And we did have one of these.
84?
We did in
Scott, what is it?
1894 is when it was established.
Oh, 18.
Like I know anything about shoes.
There was one in the mall, Caleb. Think of one of them old ones.
Jesus.
Anyone? Michael?
Kenny?
Yes, Kenny!
Yeah!
Kenny shoes!
What was it?
Kenny.
Kenny shoes.
Kenny.
Very good,
Yeah.
Caleb.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
Look at that K.
Yep.
I know, right?
Fancy.
Look at the wood.
Wood
Look at the wood
paneling.
paneling.
Is that socks hanging from the ceiling?
Maybe.
It's like a party.
Seems like a fire hazard.
In 1966, Cole National opened its first can-do shop. That's the actual name, can-do shop
Can-do.
kiosk, which packaged a wide variety of services like engraving, rubber stamp making, plastic sheet laminating, not sheep, but sheet laminating, and photocopying with its key making services at a shopping mall in Louisville, Kentucky.
Is it Kinko's?
No.
Oh, that was my guess.
This is a store we've had them all.
Is it Shirtique?
It is not. think of engraving services.
Oh, Things Remember.
Very good. Things Remember.
Oh, yeah.
go.
I
Remember
that
them?
Yeah, I remember.
Really hype. I
That's
remember.
a thing I remember.
All right.
I remember it was just full of a lot of things that looked breakable.
Yes.
Yeah, it was like a lot of
Tchotchke.
right.
That's where you ended up if you could not
I
find
don't
anything
know what
else.
to get for Mom,
Yeah,
so I got her.
you
a
ended up
mug
there.
that, you know,
Yep.
Things
I
remember.
love you, Mom.
Look, I got you this glass thing that
Merry
has your name on it.
Christmas.
Yay. I've got mail. Yay. All right, Scott. I'm gonna skip the next one and go on to the obviously the one after that.
Can
Just
I
as
see what the next
FYI.
one was? Sears Roebuck.
Just for time's sake. This photography studio, as we know it, first opened its store in Dallas in 1988. But the company's origins go back to the 1960s when enterprising University of Oklahoma student Jack Counts Jr. began snapping away at fraternity parties, selling shots he trademarked as party pics.
Old time photos.
No.
Picture people.
No.
God damn it.
What's the other one? The
It soon became a place where you'd go and get all kinds of they fancy you up and take pictures of you.
No, what's it?
Sears.
No, it's
JCPenney.
No.
No.
Nope.
I'm just guessing.
All right.
I can't think of the name.
Scott? Michael? The answer is Glamour Shots.
No.
Glamour Shots.
Sure.
It looks like fun.
This next one is a place I shopped at many a time when I was a lad.
Oh, Lord.
This clothing store was founded in 1972 and had rapid growth throughout the late 80s and early 90s in the western U.S., catering to young adults like me. After changing its name to Anchor Blue in the late 90s, the company began to see poor sales. It filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in June of 2009 and officially closed all its stores on February 17th, 2011.
That would be Miller's Outpost.
Miller's Outpost.
I too shop there.
Yes.
Quite
the
a bit.
Infamous Miller's Outpost.
Oh.
Don't know that one? Okay.
You don't remember Anchor Blue either?
I
probably.
remember Anchor Blue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew why they changed over, but obviously because someone bought
I feel
something.
like Outpost just felt like
Dated.
old time.
Yeah, it's kind of
Like
like
me
hard
now.
to like put a finger
Right.
on what they're selling.
There's like an outpost out in the middle of nowhere
Right.
that has all the things
Yeah.
you need, but they
Which
had
is-
like hip kind of
Yeah.
not hip, but
No, hey, it was hip.
hip clothes that we could afford.
Right.
Yeah.
They actually advertisements actually were too like Western dudes like doing the
Yeah.
advertisements.
All
Okay.
guys and girls screams.
Yep.
Screen printed
T-shirts,
shirts, yeah.
Screams. That's
All right.
interesting. I've not heard that terminology for a shirt.
Oh. Here's one you're gonna get quickly.
Okay.
Store was opened as an orange juice stand in downtown
Orange
LA
Julius.
in 1926.
Let him finish.
It was the
Go
it
on,
was
Scott.
however, it was the owner's real estate agent who introduced the powdered vanilla-y formula that turned blended orange juice, sugar syrup, and crushed ice into that icy, fluffy, creamsicle-y drink.
So good, I miss it.
Orange Julius. Caleb got it. Yep.
Look at that. Look at
You
that.
know, I
writing.
never had an orange Julius.
I don't think I
Never
got it
once.
either.
I can't recall either if I had
You
to
probably
be honest.
hate them too, but like as a kid, it was just a super special treat.
I don't know. Like, I love creamsicles, so I probably would have liked it.
That's what it tastes
Yeah.
like.
I don't see why.
Yeah.
All right, here's another one that we did have in our mall in
Okay.
Santa Rosa.
All right.
This company was founded in 1922 as Kaufman Brothers, a wholesale candy store. The company opened a wholesale toy store in 1946 and ended its candy wholesales 2 years later to emphasize its toy products. Retail sales began during the 1970s under the name that was found in malls across the country.
KB Toys?
Toys.
KB Toys, very good.
Love that place.
Yes.
I have never seen it spelled out. I always thought it was just the
A
letter
K and
K, the
B.
letter B.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
goodness.
think that was later.
The
but-
question is, Caleb, how many toys have you stolen from a KB Toys over the years?
None.
None.
Never stolen?
None.
Wow.
No.
Just
Good for you.
7-Eleven then?
No. Yeah, I can't do. Toys don't fit up your jacket sleeve. Candy bars did.
Okay.
Can't beat that logic.
Fair enough. All right.
Or
For
copies
some
of Stephen
reason,
King
though,
books.
like the
Stephen King books.
consequences at a K, it's because it's probably not that I didn't think about it, but for some reason the consequences felt more real from a toy store than they did from 7-Eleven.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know,
that's
25-cent
enough.
candy bar, you know, $5 GI Joe,
Right.
or whatever.
Whatever
you
it
know.
was. Okay. I feel you.
All right.
All right. This first store was opened in 1955 in Minneapolis by Grover Cleveland Sayre II, where the company continued to be headquartered for the remainder of its history. By Helliker Brothers, a Minneapolis-based regional record distributor and owner of the Soma Records label. So those guys bought it from the original guy. The label expanded rapidly during the mall boom of the 1980s and continued to grow into the 90s, enjoying a long tenure as the United States' largest specialty retailer of entertainment products.
Sam Goody.
Or
Is
The
it
Warehouse?
FYE?
It is not FYE. It was not Sam Goody.
Oh, it was
Warehouse?
Warehouse.
Not the Warehouse.
Tower Records.
Not Tower Records.
What the
Wow.
It's actually the company that ran
All
Sam
of
Goody.
those.
Because this company bought Sam Goody and then actually kept the Sam Goody name through most of their stuff. And then they were around up until like 97. They finally transitioned out completely. We have one in the mall.
Yeah,
This is where I went more than any other place.
what was that place called though?
It was called, anyone? Musicland.
Oh, look
Yeah.
at that.
That store is probably where I hung out the most, I'd bet, of any store in the mall.
I did get caught stealing a tape from Musicland.
What tape? What tape?
That's why I repressed it. That's why I couldn't remember it.
Because
What
it had the
tape?
long plastic thing on it still, right? Or no?
I got it off.
Oh, that took some doing.
I know.
Didn't,
I was just
wow.
walking around the store, like kind
Fiddling
of
with it.
working that little bar that
Yeah,
goes across.
wow.
just
What
kinda
tape?
like-
What tape?
I can't remember. I want to say it was like Faster Pussycat, possibly.
Not even a good tape.
Fuck
Wow.
off. Eat shit.
What is Faster Pussycat? I thought that was a movie.
That's where they got their name from. It was a
Oh,
drive-in.
that's the
Bessie
band?
Pussycat Die, Pussy or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. I've even heard any music from that band.
It's just 80s
Wow.
glam metal
That you
Cool.
steal.
that I steal. Yeah.
All right. In 1956, an Italian couple, Carmela and Gennaro, opened the doors to their Italian salumeria. I knew I was going to screw that one up. In Brooklyn. Carmela made pizza slices for shift workers looking for a quick meal.
Let him
Her
finish.
slices were so popular they soon opened a second location focused solely on pizza. In 1970, the restaurant opened its first mall-based restaurant in Brooklyn's King Plaza shopping center.
Excited.
If this is what I think it is, this is embarrassingly what I miss the most at the mall.
Okay.
Is it Esparro?
Yes.
Yes. I loved Esparro's. I really did. It
Is
kept
it
me,
Sbarro?
It kept me alive, I feel like, for the 2 years that I managed an FYE and a Suncoast.
Oh, wow.
I loved Esparro's.
Is it Esparro's or is it Sabaros?
I don't know.
That was okay, and I'm always very cognizant of letting the question asker finish because it takes work to put these together.
It's okay.
And it's always nice when it's like, let me read my thing.
I'll just keep going if I need to. That's all. It's fine.
Good for you.
Sbarro's.
Well,
There's still one in what, Kleintown? Is there one there still?
No, it's
I
gone.
think
Oh.
I think
That
they're
was
all
it was literally kitty corner from FYE.
Oh.
Like I said, I would just walk right over there because basically next door, and I'd get my slice and I'd walk outside and I'd listen to my podcast.
You worked at the one in Kleintown?
Yeah, I managed it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
I didn't know you were up here.
I closed down. I managed the Suncoast and the FYE at the downtown mall at the same time and closed them down, and then
Oh.
took over the one in Coddingtown before I worked for my current employer.
Interesting.
memories.
I've told Scott I probably saw him in there.
You probably
all
stole
the-
stuff from
Probably
him
stole
all the time.
things.
No, I wasn't stealing.
Were you stealing
I
pizza?
No pizza.
They didn't have.
By the way, I don't have a criminal record. The manager told me to get the fuck out and never come back, and of course I was probably there like the very next week.
Yeah, you're
But
like, I'm coming back, sir.
Mark, I see you. This is now the second time you and I are on the same wavelength. He also loved Esparro's.
Sbarro's. All right.
Alright.
Sabaros. Sure, whatever.
The borrowers.
Sbarro's.
Right.
Okay.
Sparrows.
Okay.
All right, you ready? Richard
Sparrows.
Ransom.
It's like Red Robin's knockoff cousins, Sparrows.
All right, Richard Ransom established this company in 1951 when he began selling handcrafted cheese at local fairs. By 1959, the company added summer sausage and opened its first retail store in Maui, Ohio.
Hickory Farms.
Hickory Farms,
Yeah,
very
that's
good.
Because that, okay, so I've never seen one like this. All the ones I've ever seen are freestanding kiosks.
Kiosk,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
No,
But that was the
Yep, that was it.
That was
the
the
summer
thing.
sausage always gives it away.
right. And how it's like packed
Well, and, like-
during holiday times because that's
yeah.
like one of those gifts where you're like, gotta get them something.
Well,
Have
and I'm-
some summer
That's the only
sausage.
thing I could ever think of that sold cheese in a mall.
Right. Oh, they had the cheese with the nuts over it, right?
Yep.
The dip
Yep.
thing.
The boots with the fur.
Whew.
Food with the fur, cheese with the nuts.
Well, there's our little tag at the end of our podcast episode.
I want to go home.
All right.
I want to leave.
What do you got first?
All right. This company was started in 1921 by two brothers, Theodore and Milton Deutschman, who wanted to provide equipment for the new field of amateur radio. The brothers opened one store retail and mail order operation in the heart of downtown Boston. The store gained popularity with the retail service concept unlike any other specialty consumer electronics store. Through its convenient and comfortable neighborhood stores, knowledgeable sales associates help customers get the most out of their technology products. However, I can say at the end of the story that was not the case.
Right, yeah, that's
The
true.
people there sucked.
They're
It was
horrible.
Radio Shack.
Radio Shack.
Yes. Look at that logo, though.
No, I
Whoa,
miss
look
it.
at the colors.
I miss it.
Yeah.
I miss it.
And then they started calling themselves the Shack.
They did. They tried to
They were trying to keep it alive.
Are some
They
of
were
them still open, or is just the signs still
I
up?
believe there are still like 3 or 4
Shacks.
nationwide.
Oh, nationwide. Because
And now
there's
Shaquille
a place
O'Neal
across
owns-
the street from Coddingtown Mall. Do you know where there's that Vietnamese
Yeah.
bistro, and then there's a yogurt time?
There's
and
one
then-
there?
Well, the sign,
The sign
is up.
is there?
The sign is still up.
Interesting.
Radio Shack, blink twice and you're getting this message.
All right. Are you okay for 4 more?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
fine. The game is fine. You're insane.
On March 4th, 1933, Lawrence Hoyt and Melvin T. Kafka opened a book rental library within leased space inside a Bridgeport, Connecticut department store. Books were lent out for 3 cents per day to save customers the cost of purchasing the books while providing affordable entertainment during the Great Depression. The company opened their first retail
I was going
bookstore.
to say this is pre-libraries, I guess.
I don't know. That's a good question.
The history of libraries is really interesting. So yeah.
Yeah. The first retail bookstore from them was in Pittsburgh, believe it or not, in 1962. Within 15 years, the company had grown to over 250 locations and leased areas within various department stores and malls. Hey, Scott, what bookstore do you know that was in malls?
Walden's.
Was it Walden?
Walden Books, yes.
Still was Thunder.
Hey, there's the logo. I remember.
Yeah, I remember Walden Books.
Absolutely.
Love what? You never wanted a Walden book?
Oh, I did. No, I did.
Yeah, because
I
they had all the nudie magazines in the back row.
in the back. Yeah,
And that's where they found you stealing magazines.
that's where
I didn't know they used to rent books. That's always interesting.
They used to
That's-
rent books. And yeah, that's interesting.
Way
business
back.
model.
Yeah.
Different time.
Yep, way different. Okay, founded in 1950 in Beverly Hills, California, this company was a manufacturer/retailer of fine leather garments known for their high fashion style and quality. In the 1970s, the company moved their manufacturing overseas, allowing them to lower their price point and broaden their client base. The business expanded, opening stores and shopping malls across the country.
Wilson's leather.
Yes, Wilson's.
That's like so wild that there's just like a leather store.
No, but the funny thing is, you would walk by it and it would just smell like leather. They must have
Yeah.
like a spray.
Probably.
I bought a leather jacket. I bought 2 leather jackets from them actually.
You actually paid for them?
I did pay for them. Yes.
Wilson.
That's got to be that's the comment now about you paid for them.
You're the one that brings up your thievery. We're just
All right.
commenting.
All right, 2 more.
Okay.
This self-named music store started in the 1940s as a discount and specialty record retailer and went on to become a small independent chain up until the late 1970s. It was purchased in 1978 and rolled into the music mall store that everyone knows
Music Land.
today.
So Sam Goody.
Sam Goody. Sam Goody. There you go. Sam Goody.
There she
Because
is.
Goody's got it.
Yeah.
So Musicland bought them kept the Sam Goody name and Musicland, but basically then started veering towards using all Sam Goody.
Right.
And then eventually phased out Musicland completely, like we said. Okay, last one. You guys are doing darn good.
Hey.
Because we've mauled.
This store was a national chain of game arcades.
There is a treasure.
Was of game arcades. So like the old school ones that you would play, back in the day. In 1974, the chain was purchased by Bally Manufacturing, which went on to become a leading manufacturer of coin-operated video games in the 1980s. At its peak in 1983, the chain had 450 locations located primarily in shopping malls.
It's Aladdin.
It is.
Because I only know that because you fucking talked
we
about
talked
it
about
earlier.
it already.
It was Aladdin's Castle.
It's Aladdin's
I
Castle.
never realized that was a chain.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Did yours look like that?
No, I don't think we had the wood paneling in the front.
And like the
I don't.
wrought iron?
I don't remember the
whole Aladdin
that
theme
font either, but
yeah,
it was there. I feel like it wasn't there for very long.
a few years at least, right?
Yeah. It's just, you throw a bunch of teenagers together, eventually they're fights, eventually they're weapons, and then, it gets shut down.
Someone walks out with a video game in their pocket, and
Right.
they have to shut it down. So.
Up the sleeve.
The sleeve.
Sorry, up the
excuse me.
sleeve. What was I thinking? Well, that is it, guys. Very good job.
Thank you for dropping that hint earlier.
Very good job.
That
You're
was
welcome.
very nice.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm glad we could keep with the mall theme. It was,
And you said it was like your favorite, like where you were and stuff. So I'm like, oh, that's gonna come back.
That's right.
All right. So we are giving producer Scott a pick for next week for his birthday.
His belated birthday pick.
Right?
Yes.
What are we doing?
Little shop of horrors, little shop of terror.
Watch him drop it.
Yeah.
Yay!
Gotta be a musical. Gotta be Little Shop. One of my favorites.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That'll be a hoot. I love Little Shop as well. We have to figure out how we're gonna get through singing those songs without being dinged for it. We have to-
Yeah, this
You have
is
to
true.
change the tune.
Can we sing them backwards?
Yeah, exactly.
Figure a way.
A separate language,
Right.
perhaps.
All right. Well, hey, let's get everyone out of here. It's past Michael's bedtime. Thanks, everyone, for joining us.
Yay!
Pleasure
Little
as
trip
always.
down memory lane.
Thank you, producer Scott. Happy birthday. Live studio audience. Once again, if you would like to buy some of our merch, www.theculture.com/store. Thank you for listening to this in podcast form later. And Scott tonight we have Vanilla Ken, Jay Bow, Mark Business Trip, Army Beef, Mindy Horror, Addict, Tommy Levette, Chris Stanhope,
Yay, Miss Movie Buff! Thanks, everyone! Army! Army, you're a sweet man. Thank you.